Being successful in a marriage requires different skills than being successful in your career. This is most apparent with men. A man will often try to apply the skills he uses at work in his relationship, and he can't figure out why it isn't helping him make decisions and keep the peace. Why is that? Well, simply put, talking to your wife as if she were your employee or a coworker will come across as condescending. When things get tense between you, you manage your emotions the same way you do when things get tense at work. You focus on reason. Then you use your reasoning to try to win her over to your way of thinking. As you reason, you speak calmly and methodically. Now, that doesn't sound like a bad thing, does it? However, when you're talking to your wife, you sound like you think you've got it all together, which implies that she is a crazy person incapable of reason, and she needs you to do the reasoning for her. One of the worst things a man can tell his wife is that she's overreacting and needs to just chill. You may not be the kind of guy who would ever say that directly. However, that message is not only communicated by your words, but also by your voice tone and your facial expression. She needs you to respect her feelings. If you don't, she will up the ante on the emotional level. Because you didn't hear how she feels the first time, she'll try even harder to get you to hear. Unfortunately, if you're not paying close attention and being respectful in the process, you're only going to hear what you've already heard. Then you'll tell yourself, your friends, maybe even your wife, that she's got an emotional problem. I remember one couple who got stuck in this loop. Their primary issue concerned the extended family. The man was processing the situation with one particular member of his family of origin through his own knowledge and experience. He was unwilling to acknowledge that his wife's experience of this individual was quite different than his. He even stopped at the door when they were leaving my office one day to ask if he could speak with me for a moment. His wife nodded and went on out. At that point, he turned and looked me straight in the eyes. "I think my wife has a serious emotional illness." I'd been working with him for quite a while, and as an experienced psychotherapist, I felt confident in my response. "Your wife does not have an emotional illness. She's a woman, and she's trying to tell you something important. She needs your help to solve this problem, but you dismiss her out of hand. It's frustrating her, but she keeps trying. She needs you to know and understand what's happening so you can work on it together." If the worst thing a man can say to his wife is that she's crazy or overreacting, then the worst thing a woman can say to a man is, "You need to grow up." That's a direct hit on his identity as a man. She's hitting him below the belt. There's no way to keep that conversation going and achieve a positive outcome. It never helps to be condescending or make fun of the other person's reactions. But that's often what's modeled by comedians, as well as some self-proclaimed experts on the subject of male-female differences. I've watched videos of one very popular author making fun of his wife. He gets a laugh from his audience and he sells a lot of books and tickets to his shows. But at what price to the couple who follows his example? I also attended a live seminar at a church. The speakers were a married couple who'd written books about gender differences. They continually made fun of one another. During the intermission, several couples I was seeing in counseling came up to me and told me they were leaving. One of them said, "This isn't helpful." I had to agree. I also apologized for recommending the seminar. I had no idea. Knowing this is what they're selling breaks my heart. They've become very popular and made a lot of money in the process. However, they're perpetuating an ill-willed mindset and some really bad habits. If you ever hear someone like that, I hope you walk away knowing that your mate's reasoning and emotions are no laughing matter. Instead, we need to recognize, respect, and appreciate how very different men and women are. Let's celebrate our differences and enjoy our relationships with one another. What do you think?